last name for the record.
My name is Billy Isaacs, Isaacs, but everybody around Midlands just calls me Honey.
Where are you from, Miss Isaacs?
I'm originally from Bartlett, Tennessee. That's a small town right outside Memphis, but I moved to Midlands when I was going to school here, but I liked it so much I decided to stay.
What do you do for a living?
Well, I'm a bartender down at Chugga's Bar. It's that little place across the street from the Gringos Locos on East Jefferson and Orange. People always laugh when I tell them I'm a bartender, but like I always say, if anybody tells you a Southern girl shouldn't drink, tell them we don't drink. We just sip. A lot.
Well, Miss Isaacs, are you familiar with an amusement park called Rock the World?
Yes, I used to work at Rock the World.
What was your job?
I used to be a ride operator.
Were you trained?
Yes, my first day we sat down, we went through the employee handbook, and then they took me out and showed me how to operate the rides.
Which ride did you work?
I worked a ride called the Tunnel of Terror.
While you worked at Rock the World, did you know an employee there named Whitney Bowman?
Yes, yeah, I know Whitney. It's always real smiling and welcoming. She remind me of the South in that way. She would even cover my rides for me when I had to go home to study and stuff like that.
Do you see Miss Bowman here in court today?
Yes, I do.
Can you please identify her by an article of clothing?
She's the young lady at the end of the table with the short haircut and the pink peachy dress.
Your Honor, may the record reflect that the defendant is properly identified.
Record will so reflect.
Now, you told us that sometimes the defendant will work a ride for you.
Yes.
Would that happen often?
I reckon about a few times a week, I have to leave a little early.
Do you recall how the control panel for your ride, the Tunnel of Terror, how it looked?
Yes, I would.
Your Honor, approaching opposing counsel in States 2. And permission to approach the witness, Your Honor, from the same document.
Sorry?
Permission to approach the witness with the same
Oh,
document.
yes, you may.
Ms. Hines, in handing you States 2, take a look at it, tell the jury what it is.
This is the control panel for the Tunnel of Terror.
Does that picture appear to be a fair and accurate copy?
Yes, it does.
Your Honor, at this time, the state moves to admit the evidence, States 2.
Any objection?
None, Your Honor.
Okay, admitted.
Also brought along a larger copy with me today.
Okay.
Now, does States 2A look to be the same thing as States 2?
Yes, it does.
Ms. Isaacs, looking at States 2A, can you please tell us how this ride, the Tunnel of Terror, how does it work?
Sure. You see the green button over to the left? You use that button to start the ride. The red button right under it, you use that to stop the ride. Start and stop all day long.
What does the lever here in the bottom right-hand corner do?
Oh, that's the blackout mode lever, but as a ride operator, you're not supposed to use that.
What's blackout mode?
Blackout mode, if you pull that lever, all the lights on the ride, they shut off. It gets pitch black inside the tunnel, but the cars on the ride, they keep moving like normal.
Well, is it easy to put this ride in the blackout mode?
No, not really. The control panel's kind of old, so if you pull the lever, you gotta pull it kind of hard. You gotta put some back into it. It's not something that you just bump into or nothing like that.
When are operators supposed to use blackout mode?
Ride operators not supposed to use blackout mode. It's for maintenance only.
Now I want to talk about how employees of the park leave the park. How many exits there at Rocky Road?
It's only 2 exits. You got one that's in the front of the park by the ticket booth, and then there's another exit in the back of my ride, in the tent of the Tunnel of Terror in the back of it.
How often do employees use that exit?
Oh, we not supposed to use that exit. My boss put a lock on it a few days before the robbery.
Why?
Well, it could be dangerous if people walking in and out of that door.
How is it dangerous?
Well, it's a moving ride inside of the tent, so if somebody just comes into that door, you can get hit by the ride.
After your boss put a lock on that door, did the city employee still use it?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
With his friend, Cameron Poole,
when was this?
on August 30th.
What did you see?
Well, I saw he was in the back by the exit and the door was wide open.
Well, what happened?
He was like fumbling around in his pockets and I saw him put his cell phone out. And it looked like to me he was texting or something like that, and then Wick came over right after that.
When Miss Woman came to your ride, did she say anything?
She told me that my boss was sending me home with 4 days pay and that she was taking over my ride for me and that she was, she asked me about blackout mode too.
Well, now, earlier you told us that Miss Bowman took over your ride and everything. That day, did you ever ask her to take over your ride for you?
No, I didn't. Usually when I needed her to take over my ride, I would go and ask her, but for some reason, on that day, she kept coming over and asking me, like, back and forth, over and over, asking me to work my ride for me.
Well, that day, how many times did she come over to your ride and ask?
At least 7, 8 times.
Thank you, Miss Isaacs. Your Honor, nothing further.
Ross?
Yes, Your Honor, before I receive permission to take down this demonstrator,